over a week since UK football season ended, and most of the Commonwealth has certainly turned their attention to basketball. But before we dive headfirst into the SEC schedule and beyond, we're going to finally put this football season to bed with the UK Football Superlatives 2016. First up, most likely to succeed, and it's none other than Benny Snell. How could you argue that? Snell came out of nowhere to lead Kentucky's run game his freshman year. He broke the school's freshman rushing record and looks to be the cornerstone for the offense in the years to come. Next up, most improved. Doesn't go to a player this year. Got to give it to head coach Mark Stoops. Stoops inherited a pretty bad team 4 years ago, then made steady progress in recruiting, but things didn't really click until this season. After a few embarrassing games to start, Stoops got his team back on track and in a bowl game for the first time since 2011. Next is most popular. 6 months ago, you probably didn't even know who Steven Johnson was. But then he exploded onto the scene when Drew Barker went down with a back injury. He proved to be quick, smart, and showed great touch on the long ball. Now Barker's on track for a full recovery, and a stable of young quarterbacks are on the team. But don't be surprised if Steven Johnson is back under center next year. Next up, most athletic, which has got to go to Jordan Jones. This guy, 6'2", 220, linebacker, leads the team in solo tackles, tackles for loss, and was third in sacks with 4. Tim Tebow highlights his insane numbers in the gym this season, saying Jones bench presses 385 pounds, squats 550, and has a 35-inch vertical. Keep your eye on Jones next season. Next, Mr. Congeniality. JoJo Kemp was awesome when I interviewed him before the bowl game. Very nice, gave us great answers, and he even managed to sneak in a Hey Kentucky reference, only 8 times during the interview. JoJo was a very good player during a rough stretch for this team, and we will miss him. One of those colorful guys you just don't get to see a lot of in college football. Now let's move on to some more unique superlatives. Kicker Austin McGinnis gets our vote for fanciest footwork. In past years, UK kickers have seen their fair share of the game's burden, but McGinnis has taken it in stride and almost made it look easy. He's been setting records since he stepped onto campus and came through huge for the Cats this season, nailing pivotal game winners against Mississippi State and the upset at Louisville. Next up, our man Lamar Thomas. Now we vote Lamar most likely to get the stink eye at a Louisville Chili's, and with good reason. The former Miami Hurricane still carries himself with all the swagger of the U and takes shots at fans who like to challenge him on Twitter. We highlighted his long chain with a Louisville fan upset that he left the Cards to coach the Cats, and reported on rumors that he may have helped Kentucky with U of L's hand signals. Long story short, people probably won't be buying him a drink in Louisville anytime soon. That's okay, it's on us here in Lexington. Now everyone can't get a superlative, but we're going to try to include as many people as we can. So let's take a look at a few we made up just on the spot. Most likely to be in a Willie Cauley-Stein disguise, well, that's Ramsey Myers. Looks like Willie threw on some dreads and tried to get back on the football field. Remember, he used to be a receiver. Did you ever hear that story? Most likely to receive Nirvana fan hate mail, Courtney Love. This guy was a force on defense. Dare you to make that joke to his face. And most likely to plan a parent trap, Brian and Braden Berezowitz. The resemblance is uncanny because, of course, they're twins. Special thanks to Brian Ashford for those last 3. And for the 6th year in a row, Randall Cobb is still the one most likely to show up in my dreams at night. I think it's safe to say that after a rough beginning, overall, we could call this a surprising and memorable season for the Cats that certainly bodes well for the future of the program and its long struggling fandom. That'll do it for this season. We'll see who wins the next round of Superlatives next year.